we'll just call this cat. We'll just call this gap. Figure out if you guys want to speak, I don't have any problem with that. But if you're in a really, really noisy area, you just mute yourself until you want to actually talk. That way it's not real distracting. So now what we can say, and I don't know how to do this any better than you do, other than I'll just go in and figure it out. Okay, so I can't tell you exactly how to do this. I can just tell you that we can actually figure it out together pretty easy if we use our brains. So what I think that we would actually end up doing is we're going to have some standard conversion rates. So we've got some standard conversion rates, and if we come back over here and look, we've got food, real estate, e-com, coaching. So food, real estate, e-com, coaching. All right. So now from here, you're saying that you have the data already to know what the actual conversion rate is, right? So
yes, some random percentage.
So in percentage, I'll want to just calculate those guys as a decimal value to make it easy. So let's say food converts at, well, food probably converts at much higher than that. So we'll say food converts at 15%. Real estate is going to convert at 7%. E-com is going to convert at 21%. And coaching is going to convert at 32%. Let's just say these are complete arbitrary random values, right? So now what we want to do is we want to make a zap. Now we're going to make this zap whenever a new trigger zap event fires. This trigger zap event, we're going to do it from this demo bot because that's what we're actually creating this in. Then this event is going to be calculate conversions. So now what we want to do is we want to have an, well, we'll just fetch and continue here. So now we want to look up a value. And we want to look up a spreadsheet. We want to look up a spreadsheet row. Okay, so if we're going to actually look up a spreadsheet row, then what we're going to do is make our table like this. And then we're going to say that food was, let's say that food was just 0.9%. We'll just call it 0.9% for simplicity. So we're going to look up a spreadsheet row. And the row that we're actually going to look up is going to be on standard conversion rates. Worksheet number 1. We want to look up column. That guy isn't also going to, he's also not going to work because he's going to look up, we don't want to actually look up that guy. So I think we probably want to look that guy up as well. So the only issue that we're going to have, with that is how the actual lookup is going to be done. So this is telling us column 1. So let's just try that this way again and see what the results are whenever we try it this way. You need to ask whoever put it there. I would say yes, you can, but you need to ask whoever put it there. Is it for the relationship bot? If it's for the relationship bot, yeah, you can erase it. So now we're going to actually look this up. So let's go back in and grab this. So what we actually need to look up is we've got this, and maybe we don't actually want to look up a spreadsheet row. Maybe we want to actually do something else. Let's see, what else do we have? We don't have anything. We really want to look up this row. So this is the part that's just confusing me a little bit right now, is exactly how we're going to actually look up this row, because we can see that this row, why you're giving me a 0.9. I'm not sure why you're giving me a 0.9. Let's check Google again. This is column 1. This is column B. So really, how do we want to actually do this? We're going to look up a whole row, right? And from that, we need to actually search. Okay, so here we're just going to go in, and here we're just going to go in and put. Here, I think we'll just do something like that. All right. So I think that will, if we do that, that will actually do exactly what we want. And this was food, this was e-com, this was real estate, and this was coaching. So that should be good enough for what we want now. So now we can go in and redo that. Let's refresh our fields. There we go. We want to check industry. Now the value that we're actually going to look up is going to be this user industry, right? We want to match that value. So now we're going to actually match that value. We see that we don't get any information that we actually want. And the reason that we don't get any information that we want is because the user in ManyChat doesn't have that data filled out yet. So we're going to go in and actually fill out that data. And we see that the guy's name is Mark. So what we actually need to do is go back to ManyChat. And then we need to find this guy. Hey, can you shut my door, please? We need to find this guy right here. And then we're going to go in and find this user's industry and say that this is food. So now that we have his industry set up, then we can go in and retest ManyChat to get this guy. Now that we have his industry, we can come in here and we can retest this guy. And we can see that we've got right there that industry rate. All right. So now the next thing that we want to do is, now we have a couple ways that we can do this. So we've got a couple ways that we could actually do this. And this way is, I mean, one way we could just do some code, right? We could easily do some code. And for this code, we're just going to look at another Zap and steal the code. We're going to steal the code from that other Zap. So I've got some Zaps already that are doing some really basic calculation. You can see here I've got a Zap that's actually doing add numbers, and we've got a Zap that's doing multiply numbers. So we're just going to actually grab this Zap that's running this Python code, and we're going to go in and grab that. And this is exactly what we want right here. So I'm just going to copy this, and then we're going to have num1 and num2 here. So now we're just going to do code by Zapier. We're going to do run some Python code. We want to have num1, and we want to have num2, just like we have over here, our two different variables. So now I'm going to go in and paste in this output here. And then number one doesn't really matter which one we give, but we know here that over here, what did we do? We know that over here we put in some value in users' monthly leads. So we know that's a number value. So we're going to come in here and we're going to put users' monthly leads. And then this guy will be our rate that we want. All right, so now the first thing that we want to do is continue this. And then we want to come back over here and put users monthly leads. And let's say that this guy's getting 200 leads per month. So now we'll come back over here to Zapier. We want to come back and test this. We want to test this again to actually get those 200 in so that now everything actually works properly. So now we want to come over here and test this step. Now we can see that this is all actually created correct. Our result ended up being 24. Okay, so now here we can go back in, and then so here we've got a couple options. All right, so here right now we're just going to do it the real simple option, and the real simple option, we're just going to send back a text message to a user. All right, so now we'll come here, and then our user, we want to have this user that is going to be this custom value, and it's going to be the user ID from step 1. And then so I think we're all good with everything that we need to do. I think this complete process is done, so we can finish. And then what I like to do that I would really preach to you guys to do the same thing is go in, and whenever you're making your zaps, have a little bit of organization and basically name your zap the same thing that you're naming the trigger zap in ManyChat, so that you can easily correlate what zap and Zapier goes with what. And then I like to go in and put what bot it is, since I have so many different bots, and then I segregate it. I mean, you guys, if you're working with multiple clients, you could go in and create folders in Zapier with your client's name or with their bot's name. So now we're actually going to turn that on. So now we'll come back over here. We'll publish this. And this is lead conversion calculation, right? So we'll come over here to automation. We'll go to keywords. And then we'll go to a new keyword, and we'll do lead conversion. And then we'll just create that keyword. We'll select an existing message, and we're going to select this lead conversion calculation that we already had. All right. So now we can come in here and do this lead conversion. So now I get a little message that says, hey, let's calculate your lead conversion. What industry are you in? I'm going to say I'm in e-com. How many leads per month are you getting? I'm going to say 100, because I know in e-com that I get 32%. So I should expect that my bot is going to give me back a value of 32 leads is what I should expect to be able to actually convert. So there you can see I got back that value. I should expect to convert 32 leads per month based on your industry average. So there's your calculator now. So now your calculator is working. So all you'd really have to do now for maintenance is just go in and add additional industries here, or update the actual conversion rate per industry. And then if you go in and update different industries and add different industries, then you'll want to actually come over here to this conversion calculation. And you'd want to go in and obviously just add in some inputs here. But does that show you how to do exactly what you were wanting to do?
Yeah. It's fantastic. Brilliant stuff, mate. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Now, like I said, you do have some other options. So your other options could be, so for example, let's say here's another option that we could have is we could go in here to our settings. We could add a custom field. And we can create a custom field called convert. I struggle sometimes naming things because from an engineering perspective, I like things to have a meaningful name so that I can just look at their name and know exactly what it means. So I'm going to call this converted leads calculated, because this is going to be something that we're going to send back from Zapier. Okay. So we're going to send this back from Zapier. Why are we doing it this way? Because another thing that you could do is, now here's another thing that you could do. You go in and create this generic content that says, let's say Well, first name. So this is going to be some industry. Pretty sure that was user industry based on the user industry. Users monthly leads. Now, what did I just call? Pretty sure that was a L. So I'm trying to remember what it is that I just called. What I just called that guy. I called that guy converted something. Oh, converted leads calculated. So now we'll just go in that and see if we can find converted leads calculated. There we go. And we can go in and find a nice little image from Facebook just to basically, just to basically spruce things up, right? So let's say this one. And somewhere in here, we just save that. You've got leads. So now maybe I think maybe this will look a little bit better if we just go in here, put this you've got leads up there, and then go in and drag this up here. So now we can publish that content. All right. So now, why did we do this? Because now we can make this a nice little thing. We can actually go in here, and so now we can actually keep our flow going. Right. We can keep a nice good flow going on. We can try again, or we can do get me more leads. Okay, so now here you can lead in with the service, right? So now, now what we can do here is, since they're going to try again, thank you so much, sir. Since they're going to try again, we're going to go to flow, and we're going to, this is why I told you guys that your best bet is whenever you're creating these contents, whenever you're creating flows, just go in and first make it a generic flow. Just go to content, hit new content, and make a generic flow, so that once you build that flow, now you can use it as many times as you want. You can reference it as many times as you want, just like I'm doing here. Okay. So now, now we're going there. And then now, just for simplicity, we're just going to do this and just say, give me some money, I'll get you some leads. This obviously is going to be your content, whatever you put in there. This is going to be how you actually lead in with your service now, right? Since I'm assuming that's why you're showing this calculation, so you can lead in with your service and say, hey, now you're going to get 32 leads. Now, this is what I can do to actually increase the amount of leads that you're getting per month, so that you can actually ultimately get more conversions. Okay. So now we've done that piece of content. Why did we do that piece of content? Because now what we actually want to do is we're going to change this send message to user And what we're actually going to do is we're going to set a custom field. Okay. So we're going to set this custom field on DemoBot. We're going to go in, do the same thing as always, use a value, use this value from here. Then our custom field was something like, yep, converted leads calculated. And our value is going to be this run Python code and the actual result. So now we'll continue there. And then let's create and continue that. And then now let's add a step. When we add this step, it's also going to be a mini chat step. And then now we're going to send content to user. And then we'll pick that same bot there. Do the same thing here. Always use a custom value. Give in this user ID from the first one. And then give this content is going to be that content that we just did, right? We just made this lead conversion output. That was that content right here that we just created. This lead conversion output is that content right there. So now we'll continue that. Create and continue. Let's turn our Zap back on. So now our Zap's back on. So let's go back here. And this was, if we can remember what it actually was, it was lead conversion. So now we can do lead conversion. And then start this process all over again. So now let's say this guy's in the coaching industry. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to say, George quit. We're going to say that we've got, let's say this example, so now we're going to say that we've got 1,000 because this guy is in coaching industry. So now we've got 1,000. This guy is actually in coaching industry, so that we expect in the coaching that we're going to get 170 leads back as the actual result. So now we'll tell this guy just to wait just a little bit. And then now we can see that he's got some leads. And now we can see that, look, there's that 170 conversions per month. So we can see, hey, based on the coaching industry and the fact that you're getting 1,000, that you're getting 1,000 per month. So we actually just need to go in and edit this based on the fact that you're getting 1,000 leads per month. We would expect that you would get 170 conversions per month. So there's that. I mean, we could obviously go more in depth in here. We could go back into this question, right? We could go into this question and we could ask this guy as well, what is your price point? What's your average price point, right? So now we can actually find out what his average price point is. He can tell us his average price point. We could use that in our calculation, and we can come back and tell him, you know, hey, we think that you're going to get 170 leads per month based on industry average. What's that translate to you into cold hard dollars? Because that's all you actually care about. Well, that's going to translate, let's say your price point is $10 a month. That's going to translate, that's going to translate into, you know, if it's $10 a month, that's going to translate into $1,700 a month that this guy's actually going to get. So now you can see we let in now, right, where we can try again or we can get more leads. So now we're continuing. This is why I say create those contents, right? Create those generic contents, because now we can actually, what we did from Zapier is we sent some data from Zapier back into our user, right? Stored some data as a custom field in our user, and then just sent the content back, and that content is referencing the data in our custom field. Well, that allows us, if we just do a send text back from Zapier, sometimes we may want to do that, but that now what are we doing? Now we're not doing any call to action to get our user to interact more with our bot. Now we've just sent them some text. Now literally we're waiting on them, right? We're actually waiting on them to go in. Now we're waiting on them to actually go in and give us some question or send a message back, and even probably our bot isn't going to be equipped to actually deal with that message and handle that message. It's just going to go into some default reply or something. So that's why I like to go in and actually create these contents and then send the content back to the user, because now in that content, let's just try this again, 500, and make sure that I'm pretty sure this calculation is working properly. So let's just say that this guy was going to get 500, and if he's in the real estate, then we're saying he's getting 0.9. So we expect this guy's going to get 45 leads back, is what he's going to actually convert, is 45 leads. So now when we send him this content back, this content allows him to continuously engage with us. We can give him some more things that he needs to do. He needs to continuously engage with us. But you can see there's the calculation. Now he can go in and say, hey, get me some more leads. And now he can lead into your flow where you're pitching him some service that you have to actually get him more leads. In this case, you just want some money. Give me some money and I'll get you some.
Yeah, that's perfect, man. That's perfect.
So if you want, we just look at that one more time. Now, if you don't understand this run code by Python, then you could literally just do, I've got another one, but I can't remember exactly how I did it. I'm pretty sure this was the actual exact, yeah, I think it's this formatter. If you use formatter by Zapier, this guy will also allow you to do some math. So you can do some numbers, do some math. For example, here, if you see this formatter by Zapier, you can do spreadsheet style formula. In there, you could actually do your math as well if you don't know how to do code by Zapier. If you don't know how to do this Python code, which you can see, this code is really, really simple. You could Google this and find this out. This code is really simple. There's nothing complex here. We're literally just doing a multiplication here. Nothing complex here whatsoever. But if you're not comfortable with this code by Zapier and writing any code, and you need to do math, you need to do some calculations, like I said, you could do formatter by Zapier and then just use a spreadsheet style formula. And then you just would have gave value 1 there from step 1 and then multiplied by value 2 from step 2, which was that spreadsheet lookup. So we could have done it this way. I'm an engineer, so code doesn't bother me. So for me, it's just easier to go in and do this. But we could easily replace this step 3 from code by Zapier. We could easily replace this with formatter by Zapier.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So what else? Anybody else have anything that they want to go over? Anything that they want to see? Don't be shy, guys. Just unmute your mic and just let me know what you want to see or what you want me to show you how to build. And then we'll do it just like this. Like, I had no clue how to build this. I mean, I never built that before, but it's pretty straightforward. If we know what you want to build or what you're trying to accomplish, then it's pretty straightforward to go in and figure out, well, how would we do this? How could we go about this? So who else wants to see something or wants me to do something? Because that's how I do training, guys. I don't really come in with an agenda and say, hey, I'm going to show you this, this, and this, because odds are none of those things will be valuable to you. I'd rather you just tell me what you want, what you need to learn, what you're trying to accomplish, and then I'll just teach you that, because that will have the most value for you. Okay, so you want to learn how to use growth tools, and you want to learn how to do coupons. So growth tools, we can go over growth tools first. Growth tools are really, really straightforward. So for your growth tools, you have all these different options here. You've got these options, all these different options here. Okay, so these options are all, a growth tool is all the same regardless, really. You go in and use a growth tool and actually create a flow. All right, so if you look here, I'll look at some of my growth tools. So here you can see one growth tool is actually going to pop up here. It's this growth tool right here. So this growth tool is pretty straightforward. You want to allow people to hide this bar. This is the initial state when people first see your growth tool, just like they're seeing it right there. There's the growth tool right there, okay? You can come in right here. You can edit this, what you want the user to see here. You can go in and just edit this. You can show if you want with a checkbox or without a checkbox. You can go in and edit this as well. This send me insights. You can go in and edit that. What is a bot? So you just save that, and then you can see, go in and refresh this page. This will change. Now this guy has a delay. As you can see, he's got a 7-second delay. He's going to wait 7 seconds before he actually shows up. So now you can see that was changed. What is a bot? So this just kind of goes over the initial state. Before a user interacts with this tool, what is the initial state? So this is what the initial state is going to be. You can go in and actually change these colors, change the colors of your text, change the color of your button background, change the color of your actual button itself, and then just have a little bit of customization as far as wait 7 seconds, or whenever a user tries to actually exit, or just show it immediately, or show this whenever a user has scrolled X percentage down the page, or this a little bit more advanced whenever a user has scrolled to an element with a particular target ID. So if you change that, you need to actually go in and give the target ID of the element. So I just like to use seconds is what I like to use. So then this is show the widget to the same user again after. So if you don't want the user to see the same thing all the time when they come back to your page, you can hide it so that they don't see that. And then if a user manually closes it, if you allow them to, how often, when should it show up again for them? So those things you just set, and then you go to your next state. Now this is your submitted state. You kind of do the same thing here. You can go in and edit this. You can go in and edit this. So you can edit the button text. You can edit this text. You can edit the actual background. You can edit the headline color, the button background, the button text. So those things you actually edit pretty straightforward. Now you get to your actual opt-in actions. Now your opt-in action is just your flow, okay? So it's just whatever message flow that you want to actually give. So you can go in and edit that message flow anytime you want. And this is just the flow that the user is actually going to get. They're going to get this actual flow. So that's pretty straightforward, right? Now the user is just going to come in here. They're going to click what is a bot. Now I'm going to get some message from my bot like I just did. Now I got that message, and this is the flow that you're seeing right there, obviously. So got this message, and then this other message with the call to action to go back to the website, and then just a button that says say hi to my bot. And if you click that button, then it's going to open up this other generic flow that I have already. So that's one of the growth tools. That one's pretty straightforward, and they're all pretty much like that. So every growth tool is pretty much like that. So all of these growth tools, let's take a look back here at these. So these are all going to go on your website. You know, this you would put on your website. This slide in you would put on your website. This model you would put on your website. This page takeover you would put on your website. And they're all the same pretty much. You can see if you go to any of these guys, then you're going to see they look pretty much the same. You're getting a preview over here of what it's actually going to look like. On this one, you can actually drag in an actual image, and then you just go through and make a little bit of edits here. You can change where you want these guys to actually slide in at. So you can see that these guys are actually sliding in at different places. This is up to you to configure. Then you go to your next page. It's pretty much the same. You just basically change what the submitted state is whenever user actually submitted it. Then you've got your actual message, right? The flow that's going to show up. What flow do you want to put them in? What message do you want to deliver when someone clicks this? And then at the end, you just got this setup. So the setup's really, really straightforward. So for this actual setup, you're just going to go in and you're going to authorize your website. Which website should this show up on? And then you're just going to install some ManyChat script. You're just going to install this script inside the head tag of every page of your actual website. And that's pretty much all you do. And then that guy is going to work. So you can go in and hide this from certain pages so it won't show up on certain pages. You can go in and show it only on certain pages if you want. So I didn't quite understand your question though, whenever you said the freebie is finally given in the flow. So I'm not quite sure I'm not quite sure, to be honest, what you actually mean by that. The freebie is finally given in the flow. So so maybe you could just elaborate what it is that you actually mean by that. But they're all the same. They're almost all the same. So you can see all these, for the most part, are things that are going to go on your web page. So if you got a web page already, like this one, you can see here's one of the growth tools. If you go in and actually sign up, you can see here's another growth tool right here. I use this growth tool. This growth tool, just once you actually sign up, because it's on the page once you've actually signed up for training, you can I tell you to click this button, and then this button just does an intake and goes in and ask you to verify that you actually joined training, and then ask you if you're interested in pre-training, and just kind of gives you a couple tags, and then actually finally presents you with an offer that I have only for ManyChat users. So okay, so that's completely up to you. If you want to, after the opt-in here, so let's say before opt-in, you have a user go in. Oh, sorry. You have a user go in and opt in. They finally opt in and they get to your actual page. So yeah, you could go in and have a big call to action here that says, thanks for opting in. Click this button to get your free PDF. And then inside that flow, you could go in and deliver your file right inside that flow. That's kind of really relative how you want to do that. So I'm an engineer, not a marketer. I can't really advise you as far as what the best way is going to be to actually present that PDF. But yeah, you could have them go in and actually opt in just like this and then click this button. So what I do whenever you click this button is I just put you through this flow. I give you some fireworks because we're excited that you just joined our training. And then I just go in and have you go in and follow a little flow. Whenever you hit that yes, that just tagged you that you actually enrolled. Actually, whenever you hit that yes, it goes in and first checks to see if I have your email address on file. And if I don't have your email address on file, then I have a conditional logic that goes in and tries to get your email address. So I just take you through this flow. Here I'm going to tag you that you're interested in pre-training. So, and then now I'm going to go in and actually present you an offer that's only there for ManyChat users that have joined the training. I go in and actually present you an offer. But here in your flow, you could do the same thing. In your flow, you could go in and in your flow, instead of presenting this offer here to the user, you could go in and just present the user with the downloadable PDF. So now here, Jerry, you're asking how to set up a respond to a client who's still not a subscriber yet. After 10 minutes, he not respond by sequence message. So just so you know, you can't set up a response for someone who's not a subscriber. If they haven't actually subscribed, you can't send them a message. So if they're not subscribers, you can't send them a message. Now, if they come through an opt-in tool, if they come in through a growth tool, most of the time through most growth tools, as soon as they come in through the growth tool, they're going to actually be a subscriber. There's just a few growth tools. It's literally just this comment growth tool. So the comment growth tool, if they come in on the comment growth tool, they're not automatically a subscriber when they come in on the comment growth tool. When they come in on the comment growth tool, they're not automatically a subscriber. They have to go in and actually reply to your comment. But other than that, on any growth tool, you could go in, and now once they come in on that growth tool, now they are an actual subscriber. So now what you're wanting to do, though, George, stop, please, buddy. Now, what you're saying that you want to do, Jerry, is you want to go in and set up a respond to someone who hasn't responded after 10 minutes or something. I'm not really understanding actually 100% what you're trying to accomplish and what you're wanting to do.
Hi, I'm Jory. So just want to check with you, if let's say I've been set up a Facebook comment, so based on the
Jerry, you're cutting out real bad, buddy. So Jerry, buddy, you cut out real bad. Anybody else that's here inside the training that wants to go over anything particular, or wants me to show them anything in particular that they have a question
Hi, John.
about? Yeah, hey Jerry.
Yeah. Sorry. Can you hear me, right? Okay.
Yeah.
What my question actually is, I did a Facebook ad. All right. So my client, they just left the comment there. So at the end, I bring them to my messenger with this many chat bot, right? So they, after I show up the growth through the maybe the welcome message, they didn't respond to anything. So after 10 minutes, they didn't respond. What I mean, I want to send them the other another message to maybe some question to get their response so that I can they can be my subscriber. So is there any way they can make it automatically instead of manually doing it?
Well, unfortunately, if they come in through this comments growth tool, okay, if they come in through this comments growth tool, they're not your subscriber until they reply to your opt-in message. They need to reply to your actual opt-in message. And on that, let's just go in and actually look at one of these guys. I'm not sure, honestly, I'm not 100% sure what the
Okay, I have a Facebook ad. Okay, so when they put a comment in the Facebook ad, my messenger will send them a message, but they didn't reply. So I want to make it after subscriber. Instead of doing it manually, is it possible to make it automatically?
Well, in your comments growth tool, you could chain. I'm pretty sure that you can do this in your comments growth tool. You can chain these guys. You can chain these guys here. Okay. But I'm trying to think of how that would actually be possible, because you want to add in some condition, right? You want to add in some condition where their last interaction so there's, I mean, you have a lesson only option. You don't have a way to go in and actually see, if it's been 10 minutes or not, if it's been 10 minutes or not. And so, I mean, we could do something like this if their last interaction is unknown, right? If their last interaction is unknown, that means that they haven't interacted with us. That means that they haven't interacted with us at all. So, but even here, if we were to do something like this, right? If we were to do something like this, then this condition is going to fire off as soon as this is done. As soon as you send this out, then you're going to fire this condition. So in order to have this last interaction to say, hey, if it's been 10 minutes since they've actually interacted, that means in this first message here, you need to have a 10-minute delay, because if not, this guy isn't going to actually, he's not going to wait. This guy is going to fire as soon as possible. In an action group, you don't have any way to actually set a delay either. So your delay is going to have to actually be here. So I can't think of an actual real good solution to accomplish what you're wanting to do other than flood this initial message in your growth tool with a bunch of delays. And I don't think you really want to do that. I don't think you really want to go in and put a bunch of delays in that actual in that growth tool. I mean, you can if you want, but I don't think that's a good option. So we could just try it out real quick, and we can go in and come here and then just put in create some post here. So now we'll go in and set up this growth tool and select that post. Select this guy right here. I'm going to confirm that. This is going to be immediately. And see, yeah, there's just no way to do that, because you see this guy, we can't even put a flow in here. So we're not even able to put any type of flow here whatsoever. Here we can only give this message right here. So we can literally only give this message. And this guy here is not actually going to fire off. The second guy won't fire off until a user responds to this message. So if you don't get a message from the user, one, they're not going to be a subscriber in the first place. And two, we don't have any way to put in any type of delay or anything here and stack this with delays. So so if you're noticing that the only thing I could suggest though is if you're noticing that users are commenting they're commenting on your post, but then once you send them the message automatically, they're not interacting at all, they're not replying back, I would say let's evaluate your content and look at your content, because it most likely is the fact that your content's not engaging enough to actually get them to engage. So I would suggest, instead of just trying to figure out how to go in and send them back out a message after 10 minutes if they haven't actually responded, I would figure out how to go in and actually optimize that content to get them to actually respond based on the value of your content.
All right. Thanks, John. Thanks very much.
So what else? I mean, anything else you guys want to see? Anything else that you guys want to ask me? Any examples that you want me to show you? I know somebody said that they wanted to do coupons. So Hadar said he wanted to see how do you do coupons. So I can show you how to do coupons, but in order to show you how to do coupons, I need a little bit more information as far as how you're wanting to actually do the coupon. Is it just a static coupon that you have, or okay, so 15% off a meal, but is that just a static coupon that you have? Is there some coupon code? Static meaning you've got a coupon code called 15% off, and that's the same coupon code for everybody. You're always going to give that coupon code for everybody, or do you have these unique coupon codes, like these one-time use codes? So if it's a static code, then if it's a static code, then pretty straightforward. I mean, if it's a static code, you could just have a keyword that listens for coupon, and on that keyword, you could just return back in your content an image of the coupon or the actual code itself to use. So if it's a static code, I mean, are you needing to grab your coupon from some external place, or are you just going to have like an image of your coupon, or just give them like a textual representation that says, hey, type 15% off in the box and you'll get a discount? Is this a coupon that they need to print off and bring with them? Yeah, so if you just want to, that's pretty straightforward here. Let's just go in and go to our content. And remember, guys, like I said, you don't have to do this. You build your bots however you want. But for simplicity, to me, the best way to do anything is to go in and always create new contents and just create a generic content so it could be used over and over again in any flow that you want to actually you want to link it to. So I'm just going to ask Google for this. I mean, for a good 15% off coupon. So any one of these actually look good to me. So if you have a designer, you can obviously have your designer go in and actually create this. So this one actually looks great to me. So I'm just going to save that. So I'm just going to save that. So now what we'll do is we'll go in and say, sure. So I'm not going to give this guy a coupon. I'm not going to give him a coupon, obviously, unless he gives me an email address. So if he wants to give me an email address, then I'll give him 15% off. If he doesn't want to give me an email address, well, then guess what? I'm not going to give him 15% off. So I'm going to pipe this into this email field here. And I'm not going to allow him to have any skip button, okay? But first, okay, so the first thing that I'm actually going to do is first I'm going to add a condition. And then on this condition, I'm going to do a message. On this guy, I'm going to do another message. And then this guy, I'm going to come in and just remove this guy here. I'm going to take this delay and put him up to the top. And then here, I'm going to grab this guy, put in a question here. This is going to be an email. I'm not going to give a skip option. George, stop, please, buddy. So now I'm going to give another delay, a little small delay. I like to give these delays Some people don't like to give these delays. I love to give delays because honestly, in my opinion, you want to deliver content only at a time frame in which a user can actually consume that content. So if you just spam them out a bunch of content and just keep giving them content and they don't even have enough time to read it, then it's not going to be really successful. So here what we're going to do is do a condition, and that condition is going to be if their email has any value, then we're going to deliver them the coupon. If their email doesn't have any value, then we're going to go in and ask them for their email address, obviously. So if they have any value, so we're going to continue here. Now in this step, we'll actually go in and deliver them their coupon. And then actually here, we'll add another action step. We'll add another action step, and we'll send this action right here, and then we'll drag them here. Add another little delay here of 2 seconds. And then given our image, and that was some 9, or was that? That was some, said it was some 9. Oh, there's my coupon right there. So there's my actual coupon. And now let's go in here and let's just trigger a zap. And then we'll email coupon. So now we've got our entire flow, right? There's not much anything else. I don't think there's anything else that we need to do there. The guy's gonna say, hey, I want a coupon, and we'll say, hey, we can give you a coupon, but I need your email address. So maybe we can actually even go in and change this. So I'll change that up in just a second. First, let's make a zap. Actually, since I'm gonna go ahead and just do that here. So there's that. I'm not going to tell him I need his email address, and unless he hasn't given it to me. If he has given it to me, then I won't even mention email. If he hasn't given it to me, then I'll tell him that. So now what I'll do is I'll go in and do a mini chat, and then we'll go in on this trigger zap. This will be for this demo bot, and this event is going to be email coupon. And then we'll fetch and continue. And then our next guy is just going to be Gmail. That's going to be his email address. It's going to be from me. So they won't allow you to upload a file in Zapier. They want an actual file location is what they want. They want you to actually give them the final input to the actual file where the file actually exists. So that's what we've done there. So now I'm going to come back over here and not there. I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to grab this. Cause like I said, remember a best practice is a best practice is to always go in and first, let's just skip this test. So now for me, a best practice is to always name your Zap something that actually makes sense, something that correlates to the Zap that you're sending from ManyChat. Okay, so now what we've done, we've got our Zap set up. Now we need to come back here in ManyChat. We've got this coupon flow all set up. So now let's go in and that was lead conversion. Pretty sure we didn't actually need this. None of this we actually needed here at all. So now let's put in our keywords. Do I have any coupon here? I've got a one-time use coupon, so I'm not going to worry about that one-time use coupon. We're just going to go in and put in coupon. So I think somebody's actually drawing on my board. So now we've got this coupon. We're going to select existing, and we're going to select this 15% coupon. So now we should be good to go to our bot. Come into our bot and say coupon. No, I'm not sure why that didn't fire off. So let's go in and see this. Edit message. So did not get anything. Didn't get anything from that keyword. So there it goes. There it's actually firing off. So now he's got his coupon. Now he's got his coupon delivered, right? He didn't have to give an email because he's already actually got an email address on file. I already have my email address there. And if I look in, I've probably got some email address here. Here's your 15% off coupons already been actually delivered. So now you can see here's that actual coupon that was generated to him. Not sure why this didn't actually show up here, but it's showing up there. There's that 15% coupon that he just got. So there's your coupon. That's a quick and easy way to go in and do that. You just have some flow whenever somebody asks you for a coupon, or now they could go in and say discount. You could add those keywords in. Now you definitely want to get their email address. If you're going to be giving them a discount, you want to use that as an opportunity to get something yourself from them. So we're going to ask them for their email address. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to check to see if we have their email address on file. So we could add in another condition here as well. We can change these conditions, and we could go in and add in another condition and have, like, let's say some coupon count where we're only going to give this guy one coupon or two coupons or three coupons. So we can add in a condition to check to see how many coupons we've actually delivered him. And if we've delivered him more coupons than we want to, then we can just set a condition. And if we've delivered him 3 coupons already, then we can just route him to a flow and say, hey, sorry, I've already given you 3 coupons. If not, then we can go ahead and deliver him the coupon. So that's pretty straightforward and pretty easy. So what else? Anybody else have anything that they want to see? Yeah, so if you only want to give one coupon to them, so let's just go ahead and do that. You want to only give one coupon to them. So now we can go in here. First, let's go in to our settings. Let's go to custom fields. Let's add a new custom field, and let's call this coupons delivered. And then make this a number and give a description here. So that custom field is going to hold how many coupons I've actually delivered to that person. So now what I want to do here is I want to add some new condition. This condition here is going to be coupons delivered is less than whatever number that we want. So less than or equal to, or less than. So let's say I want to give him only one coupon, right? So I want to give this guy only one coupon. So now what we're going to do here is we're just going to link this guy here. We're going to link this guy there. And then now if this condition is true, then now we'll send him the coupon. If it's not true, then we're going to tell him, sorry, dude. Sorry, man, I've already given you enough coupons. So now the only other thing that we want to do here is I would say here, once we're here, we want to continue to another step. We want to add an action group here. And this action group, what we want to do is we want to set a subscriber's custom field. And then that field name is going to be something like coupon, right? Coupons delivered. And we want to increase this number by 1. So now there's that additional logic. All right. So now let's go in and try that again. And we'll go in and say coupon. So now we'll say coupon again. Okay, so now he didn't get the coupon the second time. And the only thing that I would say here is what we probably want to do here. What we probably want to do here is we don't want to tell him, sure, I can get you a coupon whenever we're going to tell him no. So probably what I would say that we want to do here is go back into our flow. And then we want to actually delete this guy and delete this guy and delete this guy. And then grab this guy and put him over here. Grab our starting step and make our starting step this condition. Then bring that guy over there. Then bring that guy over there. Then bring that guy over there. So now here's our starting step. Here's this condition. Here's this other condition here. Here we're going to go in and grab his email. If he hasn't provided his email, here we're going to trigger our zap. And then here we're going to do this. So now there's our entire flow for that. So now we're going to put in our condition. So now we'll publish that. So now he won't get this message, because that's one thing that we don't want to do, is we don't want to go in and tell that guy, sure, I can give you a coupon, and then right after we tell him, sure, we can give him a coupon, right after we tell him, sure, we'll give him a coupon, not actually give him the coupon, right? So now we'll go in and say coupon, and now he'll never get a message that says, sure, I can get you a coupon. He'll just get a message that says, sorry, I've already given you enough coupons. So that's how you can do that. Pretty straightforward. So you have any other questions about coupons? Clifford, I see you have your hand up again, man. What's up?
Hey, remember the bot tool that we just created? I wanted to know, I'm curious, how would we integrate that with a Facebook comments or a Facebook doc post?
Yeah, so that's really easy. So,
2 secunde. Pentru ce ați dori, că n-am înțeles foarte bine. Scuze.
Paul, I'm gonna just mute you, right? I'm gonna mute you while you're talking to your buddies, man. So that's pretty straightforward. Here is a growth tool that we have right here, right? That we just set up. We just set this up. So now if you want to go in and set up some growth tool, all right, we actually started on that growth tool already. I thought we started on that growth tool. It was this guy right here. So now we can go in, select that post. We're going to select this guy right here. And then we're going to do this. We're going to go next. So now we're going to ask this guy, hey, do you want to know how many leads that you should be converting in your industry? Now I'm just going to go ahead and save that. Now this is completely up to you. So do you want to send this opt-in message to every single person that replies? Do you want to only send it to users who reply with a keyword? That's completely up to you. So I just say send it to everybody. That's me. But so now let's just go in and actually change this, and let's go to our flow builder. And then what we're going to do here is just we're going to continue, and we're going to go to that flow. And that flow was lead conversion calculation, right? That was that flow. So now there's that. Now let's turn this on. So now it's active. So now we can come in here and comment. Let's say that's what this post would be. This post would be some post about lead conversions or something like that. So now for this to work, I need to switch to the right Facebook page. So now this guy's going to comment. Yes, he wants to know more. So now you can see he's just got that message, right? So it's like, hey, John Vaughn, would you like to know how many leads you should be converting in your industry? Yes, I would. So now he's going to be piped into that other flow that says, hey, okay, John, let's start. Hey, John, let's calculate this. Now he's back into that flow before. So now that's how you do that, okay? Now he's back into that flow where we're calculating everything for him. Now to answer your other question, I don't know if I'll actually be able to answer that or not, because yesterday Facebook was being really weird and it was just telling me that I wasn't okay. So Facebook isn't being weird right now, so it's going to actually let me do this. Now the dark posts are really, really simple. So the dark posts you're going to do the exact same way, but all you're going to do in the dark post is first I'm going to mute all you guys. And you guys can unmute yourselves if you want to talk, no problem. But like I said before, if you got like a bunch of crazy background noise or something, then just keep yourself muted unless you want to talk, because it's really, really distracting. So I have no problem with you guys unmuting yourselves, because I like the two-way conversation. I like the two-way dialogue. It makes the training the most valuable for everybody. But I also don't like the distractions, because it keeps me from actually being able to think. So anyways, here's a bunch of ads that we have active, okay? So now, for a dark post, it's really simple. You're going to do the exact same thing, but all you want to do is you want to come see the preview of your ad, okay? So you come see the preview of your ad, and you can see right here in this little corner right here, for any ad, you'll see this. You can go to any ad that you want, and if you hit this little button and then you go to this actual preview, every ad will have this little button right here. And what you want to do is you want to go to Facebook post with comments. And then this will actually give you the post ID. Okay, so this gives you the actual post ID. And then now you can come back in here to your growth tool. And on your actual growth tool, if you want to change your post You need to do that. And then you can go in and actually change your post and pipe in that post ID there. And this one's not going to actually work because it's from a completely different page. So if I wanted one to actually work, what I need to do is I need to come in to this guy right here because this is on the same page. And then I need to go in and grab this guy. And actually, this is not on the same page. This is on a completely different page. So this one probably isn't going to work neither because it's, like I said, on a different page. So you obviously can't go in and reply to posts that are on completely different pages than what your bot's on. That doesn't actually make any sense at all. So I may be able to actually use this one though. I may be able to use this one because it's on a Facebook page that I own. But you see exactly now how to do it, right, Clifford? It's pretty straightforward. If you want to do it if you want to link in that flow from a comments tool, you just need to go in and pick the post, and then in this options action, you just want to go in and actually link into the actual. You just want to go in and link into the actual flow, just like I have here. We've linked into that. We've given some initial message here. And I'm actually going to remove that because I don't want to give his name twice in a row. So now we've linked into that generic flow that we've built. So now whenever somebody comments on that, just like they did before, whenever somebody comments on that, they're going to be brought into that actual flow because that's what I did there. You see there was the actual reply to that post. There's a reply to that post, and then they replied to me. They actually opt in. So now we actually started and we put them into that flow that we created a little bit before to show them how many leads that they're actually going to convert, which was a pretty cool thing that we did. I like that. I like that one because that one was actually really functional. So you can see how you connect it to your post is you just go in and use this comments growth tool and you just select your post. And then if you want to connect it to a dark post, then all you need to do is you need to go to your ads manager. You need to pick the actual ad. That's what your dark post is just an ad. You need to pick that actual dark post. You need to go just see a little preview of that, go to the actual preview, and then right here in this ad preview section, you've got that little pop-up, and you just want to click this Facebook post with comments. That will give you the post ID, which is what you actually want. You want that actual post ID. You're going to copy that post ID and you're going to come over here and you're just going to post that in there. And then you can see there's a post that actually shows up. Now, if you want it to actually work though, you need to make sure for the most part, because honestly, I don't know if this would actually work. I don't know if this would actually work. So let's just see if it will actually work because I don't think it will. I really don't think it will work, but we can see if it will actually work. I don't think it will actually work because this is this is a bot from a different page. So, but anyways, let's see. Let's make it active. And let's see if they're going to let me do that. Be really surprised. I'll be really surprised if that works. Sorry, I've got a monkey and he's back there. Come here, George. Come on, buddy. I got a monkey and he's going crazy right now. So you can see that didn't work at all. The reason that didn't work is because I'm trying to reply to a comment on a post that is not actually owned by the page that is running the bot. So it's a completely different page that's running the bot. So it's obviously not going to work. So if I wanted that to work, then I should have set all this up from this John Vaughn page instead of from this demo bot page. So that will only actually work if yeah, it's not so funny. It's going crazy. It will only actually work obviously if the page that has the post is if the page that has the post is the page that you're actually making the comment growth tool from. So that's why it's not actually working. So, but you could just assume that doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense that you would be allowed to reply from a bot that's attached to a page to a post on a completely different page. That doesn't even actually make any sense. So those two pages need to match, but that's how you would do that. So does that answer your question, Clifford?
Yes, it does. Thanks so much once again.
Yeah, no problem. So anything else? I know you were wanting to see a JSON ad, a Facebook chat growth tool, and a sequence. So that Facebook chat growth tool, I can't show you that. Nobody can show you that, buddy, because that is in beta. So no one has access to that, and you probably won't have access to that for another 2 or 3 months. Facebook's being really selective as far as who they're actually giving access to. So you're not going to be able to do anything. You're not going to be able to do anything. All ManyChat's done is that they've built out the scaffolding so that once Facebook makes it available to people, that we can instantly consume it. And now we don't have to wait for them to go in and do, 2 weeks or a month worth of development work to actually get it. They've actually just went in and built all the scaffolding so that once Facebook makes it available, then it will be available to everybody. As far as the other things, the JSON ad and the sequence, we can go over those things. Those things are pretty straightforward. So a sequence is really straightforward. I mean, a sequence is just, it's like an autoresponder, right? If you're familiar with what an autoresponder is, it's just like an autoresponder. A sequence is just going in and allowing you to deliver messages and deliver flows. So you can go in, create an entire message, create your entire flow here. You can create your entire flow however you want this actual flow to be. It doesn't really matter, but you can create this entire flow, whatever message steps you want in this flow, however you want this flow to be. And then you just basically set at what schedule you are going to send these out. Now, these are relative to your previous message. So whenever you add somebody to this sequence, they're going to immediately get your first message, only if they're turned on. Obviously, if they're not turned on, they're not going to get them. So if they are turned on, they're going to get them. So in this instance, if I add somebody to this sequence, they're immediately going to get this. They're immediately going to get this message, and then 1 day later, they're going to get this message. And then 20 minutes after they get this message, they'll get this message, and then 1 hour after they got this message, they'll get this message, and then 3 days after they get this message, they'll get that message. So that's pretty much all a sequence is. It's just a series of promotional messages or a series of educational messages, whatever you want your message content to be. That's all relative, right? So it's just a sequence that somebody's now going to get automatically, and you don't have to do anything. So for example, in my case, I'm going to go in and make a sequence that has access to all the replay videos from these live pre-training events. And then I'll go in and whenever people subscribe to a premium content package that I have, once they subscribe, I'll go in and I'll add them to that sequence. And then every day I'll send them one of the videos, because they'll end up being like 20, 30 videos from these pre-training sessions like we're doing right now. So I'll send those out to them, one a day. I'll say, hey, here's another video. Hey, here's another video. And every day I'll deliver them a piece of content that's one of those videos. So that's how that sequence works. So you have any other questions about the sequence? Anything else you want me to clear up about the sequence? Okay, so now for the JSON ad. The JSON ad is also fairly straightforward. So the JSON ad is also fairly straightforward, but for that JSON ad, we need to actually go in and create an ad. So let's just do that. So we want to start over. So now for this JSON ad, we need to use our messages as an ad objective. So to be able to do a JSON ad, we need to select messages as our ad objective, give a campaign. Now, I'm an engineer. Like I said, keep in mind, I'm an engineer. I'm not a marketer. I don't claim to be a marketer, so I can't really tell you which one of these is better to use. This is sending a targeted message to people who have an existing messenger conversation with your business. So obviously, I don't think we want to use that one. I think we want to use this one. So now this is just your audiences. So I'm going to use a saved audience that I have already. And I'm going to call that business owners. That's between the age of 30 to 50, people who are small business owners and they're interested in Facebook Messenger, and they're also interested in automation. So I'm going to use those guys because I'm going to have to spend money for this ad. So I don't care about these placements because, like I said, I'm an engineer, not a marketer. So maybe maybe you should care about these. I'm not really sure if you should be caring about these or not, but I'm just going to let Facebook do it automatically. So now there's your budget. So let's run this to a set time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this, let's say, I'll run it until the end of the week. So today's this. I'm going to run it until Sunday. And I'll spend 20 bucks on this ad. No big deal. So there's some more options, some advanced options, all that stuff. Hey, Tapos, how you doing? Can you give me some coffee, please? So all this stuff, I can't, like I said, I can't really tell you about all this stuff if it's any good, if it's not any good, because I'm not a marketer. It's probably useful for something, but we're gonna skip it. All right. So now I'm gonna go in and change this to my demo bot page, and then I'm gonna go down here, and then this is all just standard ad stuff, right? So let's just fill this out. Okay, so there's my ad content. That's pretty much all I want is there. Now Facebook is telling me that they want me to give some image, so I'm gonna find, I'm pretty sure that I must have some image already of, yeah, this is an image that I'm gonna use right there because that kind of shows like a, so there's my ad. Now, up until this point, this has nothing to do with any JSON or anything like this up to this point. Okay, so now all we've done is actually created our ad. All right, so now where the JSON comes in is right here, setup messages. So Facebook gives you a standard already for the message. So we're gonna bypass that and we're gonna go right into this JSON. All right, now Facebook's given us this JSON right here. All right, JSON just stands for JavaScript Object Notation. It's kind of like it's not a programming language, but it's a data representation in JavaScript. So it allows us to represent different objects. So now Facebook, this JSON right here, this object right here is literally this message right here that Facebook has already given us pre-populating. So I don't care about any of this. So I'm going to delete that. All right. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to my growth tools. I'm going to create a new growth tool. And then I'm just going to do this, Facebook ads JSON. Now for this as well, you have to be pro, but you guys really want to be pro regardless. All right, so So now here, all we have to do, thank you so much, Topos. Here, all we have to do, all you have to remember is this very first guy here. This very first guy is limited to, I think it's 150 characters, all right? So this very first guy is actually limited to how much content you can put in this guy. So you want to keep this guy short and simple. So let's do that. So that's all that's going to be. That's all that's going to be in my message. All right. Now this guy says, sure, I do. Now here in this second content, here you can do whatever you want. Okay. So this is your starting step, your first step. Here in the second step, here you can do whatever you want. You can make this as large as you want. You can make this huge. So what I'm actually going to do is delete this guy. And then I'm going to go to a flow that I already have somewhere that deals with joining. It deals with actually joining this training. So I'm going to send them into this. I'm going to send them into this flow right here. So that's going to be my ad. They're going to come in. Now, whenever they click that button that you see here, they're going to click this button, send message. So now what's going to happen is whenever they click that button, send message, they're going to actually be delivered this message. Then if they click on the CTA, on the call to action, then they're going to actually jump into this flow, which is a much larger message. So now this is all set up. Now, for you guys set up whatever flows, whatever content that you want. I mean, that's not really up to me. Like I said, I'm a software engineer. It's not really up to me to dictate to you what could be good content or what could be converting content. Even I have to outsource my content to a content writer that's good at writing the content and stuff, because I'm good at writing code, but I'm not good at writing content that's not code. So you guys are kind of on your own for content. We do have a guest speaker that's coming into our training that is a content guru that will train us all and give us all help. Even I'm going to be real attentive that day because I want to learn how to create better content myself so that I don't have to hire somebody else to do it. But you're kind of on your own for your content. So this is all set up. So this is my ad. It may not be the best content in the world. So now what I want to do is I can't use user variables. Okay, no problem. So it's telling me I can't use user variables, so I just need to edit this guy because he's not allowed to use any user variables. So I'll just edit him, publish that guy, then come back here. Then now go to my setup step. Now I got my JSON code, right? This is my JSON code. Now I'll come over here, set up my messages, and then I'll just pop my JSON code in here. Now I can just go ahead and preview this in Messenger. And there's that message right there. You can see there's that message. Let's just go in and make this easy by deleting that conversation. So, so now let's go back here. Let's preview this in Messenger again. So now you can see here is the content. This is exactly what would happen if a user sees your ad in their newsfeed somewhere and they click that button in your ad that says send message. Okay, if they were to click this send message button, this is exactly what they will be presented with. They will be presented with this guy. Now, at this point, they're not a subscriber in your bot until they actually interact with that and they say, sure, I do. And then now your second content can come in, right? Now that second content can be as big as you want. I mean, you could literally have an indefinite, you could have a million messages attached to that second piece of content, no problem. This first piece of content, you are limited to that first piece of content. So you're limited to the amount of content that you can actually put in there. So what's going to happen is whenever you go in and create this, if you create this first message, just this first step right here, if you create this thing really big, if you create a big, huge message, and then you go in and try to pop that JSON into Facebook, you're going to get an error that it exceeds the limit. So all you need to do, and you don't want to have a huge message anyways, because if you have a huge message, the odds are your audience is not really going to respond to that, and they're just going to they're just going to ignore your message anyways. So best practice, have a small message that tells them exactly what the call to action is, and then get them to actually respond on that. So then, like I said, once you get this done, you just need to go into the setup here. You need to copy this JSON. You'll go back to your ads manager. You'll go to setup messages. You'll go grab all this JSON. You'll just delete it, and then you'll paste in the JSON that you got from ManyChat, and then you'll say you're done, and then you're just going to confirm and run this ad. And then that's it. You're done. That's what your JSON tool is. So that's how that works. No, not necessarily. With all growth tools, okay? Like I said, not with all growth tools. But so your question was, with growth tools, once they've clicked it, they still need to interact with your bot before they are subscribers to your bot. With some growth tools, yes. Not with all growth tools. With the comments tool, yes. With the Facebook ads JSON, yes. Other than that, no. So other than that, no, they don't actually have to all these, they don't actually have to respond at all, because all these, well, this one, yes, I think this one, yes, that they actually have to interact with your bot before they become an actual subscriber. The rest of these, no, because the rest of these on these tools, there's actually a little checkbox that says that they're opting in. They got to click that checkbox and then click the send a messenger button. So at that point, they're automatically subscribers into your bot. But for this ads and for this comments, no. So basically, the rule of thumb, how you can realize whether or not they need to do something else before they're subscribers, or if they're going to be instantly subscribers, is what is the user doing? Well, on this Facebook comments, user's not doing anything. They're not sending you a message. They're not interacting with you. You're putting on a comment and you are sending out to them. So yes, they need to respond back to you before they can be a subscriber. On this box, the user is initiating that. On this bar here, just like I showed you here, on this bar, look, they got to click this send a messenger, and then they got to click this button. The user is initiating a message to you. The user is initiating this process. So that's all they have to do. Now, once they do this, now they are a subscriber because they've initiated this. On a comment tool, they didn't ask you for a message. They just put a comment on your thing and you instantly sent them out a message. So yes, they need to respond to you there in order to be a subscriber. So that's how you can figure that out. Do same thing on this guy right here. They've interacted with your ad and that's opened up a messenger, but then yes, they need to respond back to you and they need to actually do some action before they can be a subscriber of yours. So hopefully that answers all your questions. On your Wix query, I don't use Doesn't look like it's possible because they tell you right here, don't add script tags because it won't pass validation, and they'll just remove those out of your site. So but you see what they're doing right here. So if you see what they're doing right here, you really don't have to add these scripts in your head tag. You don't have to do that at all. You can add that script anywhere that you want inside before the closing body tag. You don't have to add it in your head tag, but it's general best practices to add these scripts in your head tag because that head tag is all loaded up and rendered before the actual DOM is given back to the actual browser, and considered that the DOM can now actually start loading. So if you have elements inside the DOM that are dependent on a script, then general best practice is you want that script in the header and the head tag, because that head tag is the first thing that the preprocessor looks at. So if you have some element inside your body and that element in your body is dependent on an external script, well, depending on how long it takes that script to actually get fetched and loaded, then you could have some rendering in your body that doesn't look good because that script hasn't actually finished executing and rendered, which is why it's best practice to go in and put those scripts in the head tag, because you're assured that all those scripts are actually loaded up before the preprocessor in the browser goes in and starts to actually load any elements inside the actual body tags inside there. But that's just a best practice. That's not a requirement. You can go in and add it just like these guys are going in right here. You can go in and add your script tag right inside there. No big deal. And that should work just fine. So anyways, guys, it's been a great session. I'm really glad that you guys came. I really enjoyed your participation and being able to help you. I do need to take a little break for a few minutes. I got to pee really bad. I need to see my monkey. And like I said, I'm the CEO of a software firm, so I do have a day job that I got to do. I'm going to start another training session probably in about 35 minutes, 40 minutes. I'll post I'll post in the mini chat community. I would recommend that you guys come here to this, and I'll go ahead and post a link in here in case you guys haven't went here yet. Go in here and either sign up for the training here. So you can either sign up for training here, or you can at least just interact with this bot and just click this and subscribe to my bot, because every time I do these pre-trainings, every time I'm about to do these live training sessions, then I notify people through the bot. I send out a broadcast to let people know, so you'll be able to actually catch the training, okay? It shouldn't take you that long. So I will guarantee you, if you come to my training, I will guarantee you if you come to my training that starts on December the 2nd, and we're doing 35 hours of live training, by the time that training's done, you will be an expert. You don't have to be a coder. I am a coder. I am an engineer, but you don't have to be an engineer. You don't have to have any engineering background, any code background. I guarantee you, if you come to my training and if you come to all the sessions, by the time we're done with the training, you'll be able to do anything that you want in a bot. You'll be able to build out anything that you want in a bot, because any questions that you have, I'm going to go in and show you how to do it. There's already over 250 people that have actually signed up for the actual training. So all those people are actually going to be doing like we've done today, asking questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? Can you show me how to do this? And then we're just actually going to go in and build all those things together. So you'll get to take advantage of all that knowledge. And by the time we're done, we will have built almost anything anybody could possibly want to build in their bot. And that means that you'll have access to that. You'll have seen that firsthand right there with us. So you'll know how to do it on your own, and you'll be able to actually build out anything that you want. So we got 292 people already signed up for the training. Training doesn't start until December 2nd. Haven't ran any paid ads yet. And even the mini chat guys are sponsoring the training, and they haven't actually pushed out the promotional material to the mini chat group yet, because I haven't given it to them yet. but you can see that somewhere in here, I've got some message with those guys right here where they were actually asking me to get whatever material that I need so that they can actually make an announcement in the mini chat group to get everybody into the training. So once they make that announcement, I would say I'd get another 500 to 1,000 people sign up once they actually go in and make an announcement. So it's going to be jam-packed of people who wanting to learn this. So if you come to all the training sessions, then you'll know everything that you need to about bots. So at that point, you can consider yourself a pseudo expert, a pretty expert person in actually making bots. So the training link is right here. It is free training, so it is 100% free training. You can pay if you want. If you pay, you get a seat reserved. You're guaranteed a seat with a microphone. So I'm only allowed to have like 100 people with microphones that can participate in the Zoom meetings. Everybody else can just be an observer. So you'll be guaranteed a seat with a microphone. You'll also get a one-on-one 1-hour session with me where it's just me and you, and we can do whatever you want to do. You'll also get a really good ebook on the art of naturally persuasive selling. And you'll also get $47 in Facebook ad spend. You see the offer is $47. You'll get all the money back in Facebook ad spend that we'll spend together running ads for your page and running ads for your bot to get you some subscribers. And then you'll also get access to all the pre-training replays that already exist and all the actual replays of the 35 hours of training. So they will be recorded. All the sessions will be recorded, but they're not open to the public. The only people who will actually get, like I've already done 5 training. I've actually already done 7 training sessions. This is the 8th training session that I've done before the training. And then we're having 25 sessions, a total of 35 hours during the training. So if you don't want to take action, then you need to show up. If you can't show up and you want access to the recorded video, then you need to come in and actually take this action, because that's the only way you're actually going to get those replays. No one else will have access to them. But anyways, I got to go. I really got to pee real quick. If you subscribe to the bot, then here in about 30 minutes when I do another training video, I will send you out a notification. So thank you guys so much for coming, and I will see you on the next one if you join.